And that's why Uber is so proud to support this bill, which also includes benefits for millions of Uber drivers and couriers in the form of no tax on tips. Mr. President, our earners are grateful for your support.
Thank you very much.
The CEO of Uber has demonstrated that he does not care if his own drivers are out of work when he publicly supported a bill that would negatively impact their own Uber drivers. As a former Uber driver, I support boycotting Uber.
That right there is what sparked the backlash. On the surface, it might sound like good news, no tax on tips, right? But when people took a closer look at the bill he was praising, they realized it's not just about tips. It's about cutting the very programs that help people, especially the working class families, survive. Hello everyone, welcome back to Trending Pulse Worldwide, where we talk about real reactions to real issues. And if you're new here, my name is Amy, and kindly hit that subscribe button because this is where we hold people accountable with facts, feelings, and voices from the people mostly affected. Here is what you didn't hear in that short clip. The bill he's supporting includes provisions that will slash Medicaid funding, cut back Medicare benefits, reduce access to food assistance programs like SNAP, affect low-income seniors, children, and disabled people, and make it harder for the working poor to get basic health care. So when the Uber CEO stood up and endorsed it, some people felt like it was a slap in the face to the very workers who kept Uber running.
Uber is so cooked once again. Today, their CEO just came out in support of this bill put up by Trump that is getting rid of things like EBT and SNAP benefits for some of the most vulnerable communities in the US. Like, what are we talking about? Like, y'all are already taking so much money from people and small businesses, hurting communities, hurting drivers, and now this is what you do?
So the CEO of Uber is in support of Trump's budget bill that cuts Medicare, Medicaid, and more to pay for tax cuts. The biggest Medicaid cut in U.S. history to give tax breaks to the rich, while slashing spending for Medicaid, Medicare, and food assistance, also subsidies for clean energy. Food stamps will see $300 billion in cuts, while adding billions to Trump's funding for his border enforcement and massive deportation agenda. The bill is working its way through Senate that will take 14 million people off Medicaid and add trillions to our nation's debt that is not getting paid.
Now, Americans are not just upset because a billionaire CEO supported a bill. No, they're upset because that bill would cut off access to healthcare, to food, to survival. And some people in these videos are rideshare drivers themselves. Others are riders who rely on Medicaid or SNAP. And either way, they feel abandoned. Now, here's the part that hurts even more. When people delete Uber in protest, the CEO doesn't lose sleep. No. But the drivers do. The single moms doing food deliveries, the retired veteran who drives part-time for extra cash. They are the ones losing out. And it's a lose-lose situation created by one CEO making a turn-deaf political move without thinking about how it lands on people living paycheck to paycheck. And people are sending a message. You can't support cuts to our healthcare and still expect us to support your company. No, we matter. Our lives matter, our health and our families matter the most. And people are using their voices, their dollars, and their phones to say enough.
Look, I guess the next contestant on the trying to find out train is Uber, huh? I guess the CEO, he don't watch the stocks. He don't get on Twitter or X or Facebook and see what's going on. He don't realize that these other companies are having issues because we don't mess with them no more. Companies like Tesla and Target and all. You didn't see what happened? The pillow guy, you didn't see what happened to him because he aligned himself with Felon 47. You didn't see that? Okay, well, let me tell you. See, the people who have made your company what it is today is not the upper echelon. See, they have personal drivers. They have chefs and nannies and things like that to go into their homes to help fix them food and do things like that. They don't have to use Uber Eats like that. They don't have to use Uber like that. See, the people who have made your company what it is today are the people who have to work 2 and 3 jobs because they don't have time to cook, and they don't have time to cook. So they have to Uber Eats food to their jobs or to their homes, to their kids at home so the kids can have something to eat. They have to use Uber Eats as a second income or a third income. See, those are the people who have made your company what it is today. Not who you want to align yourself with. Felon 47 probably don't even know what Uber is. And now you let them know you're going to be his friend. Okay, well, we're going to see what your friend going to do.
I just want the CEO of Uber to know that you just cost a lot of your employees their job.
And these creators are not wrong, because when companies grow off the back of working people and then align themselves with policies that hurt those very people, that's when the trust breaks. That's when people say we are done. Because the real people who built these big companies are not billionaires, or they are not even CEOs, but they are regular people. People working multiple jobs, moms who do not have time to cook, so they use Uber Eats, students, nurses, factory workers, caregivers. The very people who supported this company are now the ones being hurt by it, and that is why people are angry. Now let's hear from someone who's actually behind the wheel. This man has driven for Uber for the last 10 years, a full decade of loyalty, but today he's saying he's done. And why, you might ask? Because the Uber CEO decided to back a bill that threatens the very people keeping the country running. And now this long-time driver is calling for everyone to delete the app.
So I've been driving for Uber for 10 years. Yeah, 10 years. I started in 2015 in Seattle. So, and I'm not one of those cats that complain about Uber like, oh, they be robbing me, I ain't making no money. I made a gang of money. I've clocked well over 10,000 rides. I made a gang of money with Uber. Yeah. Uber and Lyft, you know what I'm saying? I've been doing my thing. But now Uber decided that they were going to support the orange dictator. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, that's what it is. And if that's what it is, listen, I am urging everybody, cancel Uber.
You can really feel the frustration in his voice. 10 years of driving for Uber, and now he's out here saying, delete the app? That's not something people say lightly. And honestly, when someone who's been in the system that long decides enough is enough, that should make people stop and think. And for a long time, Uber drivers have been speaking out. The pay is low. The benefits are pretty much non-existent. And many feel like they're being squeezed while the company makes billions. And now the CEO is seen backing a bill that could cut Medicaid, Medicare, and food assistance. Guys, let's be real. Those are things that matter to regular folks, especially the ones who rely on services like Uber just to get by. And the irony is, it's not the rich who are ordering Uber Eats every day. It's the working class, the people juggling long shifts, parents with no time to cook, and folks who just need a break. So when they see the leadership of these companies backing decisions that could hurt their basic needs, of course, there's going to be a reaction. And what's wild is, even the drivers, the ones who will be affected by this boycott, are saying it's worth it. And some of them are even leading the call to delete the app, knowing it could cost them money. And that shows how fed up they really are. So this isn't just about rides anymore. It's about dignity. It's about standing up when people feel like no one's listening. So guys, that's it for today. Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to know what you think about this entire conversation. And before you go, kindly give this video a thumbs up, and also don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more trending stories just like this. Thank you so much for sticking around, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.